for something that happened last night, Steven, the Raymondville Bearcats with a very impressive victory over the Sinton Pirates at home. What happened? How did they pull that off?
Yeah, shocker. I mean, this was the end of a tough 3-game stretch for Raymondville where they played Orange Grove, Port Isabel, and then Sinton last night. And they lost those first 2 games pretty disappointingly. But I know Sinton's defense, I think, they've had a little trouble. I mean, they struggled with Rio Hondo last week, a team that got shut out in the half by Gruya last night, and really hasn't been that strong from what I've seen. So I think it's a mix of Sinton's defense isn't where their offense is, and I think it's just Raymondville. They were tired of losing. They're on a 2-game losing streak. They had played 2 tough teams. They felt like if they could just clean up their mistakes a little bit, that they could take a team like Sinton, and they did. Solid win.
Okay. Guys, were you impressed by this victory? I don't think anybody really picked Raymondville to beat Sinton. Sinton's a pretty good 3A team for the Coastal Band. They usually do pretty well against Valley competition.
I think that this win actually reflects just how good Port Isabel is. Raymondville, beat Sinton. Port Isabel had no trouble at all with Raymondville. I know the game was called early, but from the looks of how it was going, it was going to be a 40-point spread. And Raymondville goes in there to beat Sinton. I'd like to see Port Isabel against Sinton. I think it could be a gap there as well. I don't think Port Isabel is going to get tested until the 3rd, 4th round of the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I think we can safely call Port Isabel the best team, the best 3A team from the Coastal Bend down. I think some years that's not always the case. Sinton is kind of a valley killer of sorts for the most part. But right now, I think you could say Port Isabel is the best team in that area, in that region.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. They're probably gonna make the 2nd round, at least the 3rd round before